Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is not a wrapping tutorial. Really, it's not, because you guys requested of me to do a beginner special, and I thought that was such a cute idea for me, for a content creator, and definitely I'm gonna do this today. So I know this request has been a couple weeks ago, but what you didn't know, but I did know, was that my Leorah kit launch, which happened last week, would have to come in between, so that's why it's only now. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do today, and of course also this video, even though it's not a wrapping tutorial, is in collaboration with Wrapunzel, and what you're seeing here on me today is the Peaks and Valleys kit that I got sent by Wrapunzel. It's unusual for me. I did have a bit of a challenge matching it to something that, you know, to wear, because I do not own any colors this, you know, but nevertheless it is a very nice kit. Also this long t-shirt scarf is just super nice, but that is today not the topic. It's not the topic. I'm gonna go into the things that I would recommend for someone who just starts out wrapping, to focus on, or to give some attention to, or, you know, things that I personally would prefer. So that is of course the problem, because this is all very personal, and if I give my recommendations to you, I do that with my whole heart, obviously, but it's of course according to my preferences, according to my experiences, my wrapping history. Okay, so you of course always everything I say, you know, you always have to put that through your own filter and figure out, does that apply to me? Is that who I am? You know, because nobody wants another copy of Leorah. It's enough that we have one, right? So anyway, so that's what we're gonna do today, and if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about all of that, then please just keep on watching. Okay, sweeties, before we go into my recommendations, how if I were you, or when I was when I started wrapping, what I did, I just want to quickly go into two things, and that is, don't forget to wash your hair. When you start wrapping, you will be tempted, and I know that not just from myself, being completely honest here, you know, hygiene is an issue. You will have to take good care of your hair, because it's very tempting to be like, oh, I have a bad hair day, let's just throw something on and nobody will see that I haven't washed my hair. Let's not do that. It can be, you know, it's not good. Let's just put it that way. You can get fungus, you can get all kinds of problems, and that is not good. It's not good. And of course you need to find a good shampoo and a good hair care that supports your hair. Your hair, let's be totally honest here, your hair will suffer from this. I used to have super beautiful hair, big brown curls, and they're gone. You know, let's face it, I used to have really nice hair, and it's not only the covering the hair that sort of messes with your hair, it's of course, in my case for example, and of course in a lot of other cases with you too, it's also a lot of pregnancy. So I was pregnant 5 times, I had 7 kids in those 5 pregnancies, because I had twins twice, so that of course takes a lot out of your body as a mom, and that also, no matter how many supplements you take, and that is another suggestion that I want to make, try to take some supplements that are good for your hair. I'm not going to make suggestions what that should be, because I'm not in the place to do that. Your healthcare provider or your doctor or whatever has to make that suggestion according to your blood test or according to who you are. But anyway, I just want to suggest that you take good care of your body in general, because that is very important. So anyway, that out of the way, I want to go a little bit into my suggestions for someone who starts out wrapping. So I did make a video, and if I find it, I'll probably find it. I'll leave it in the description box or here in the corner somewhere, where I spoke about how I started wrapping, my wrapping journey, okay, how I got into this. So of course, I'm Jewish, I'm religious, so we as religious Jews, we start usually wrapping our hair when we get married. So I started to do that on the morning after my wedding. That's when I started covering my hair. I did not start wrapping immediately. That was a couple months later, because in my husband's family it's more a tradition to wear hats, you know, small ones, whatever, But that was just not me. And I did it in the beginning because I thought that's like, I have to adjust to this, but it turns out I have to not do anything I don't like. So I wanted to be my own thing in this, you know, my own decision, my own Leorah, and that is how I came across wrapping. So what did I start out with? I didn't wear a shaper. I had no idea there was such a thing as shapers. I just wore my hair in a bun, and then I wore an Israeli tichel over that, and that's all I had. I had maybe 10 Israeli tichels in different colors, and that's all I had for the longest time. And you know what? It was good. It was good. It was functional. It was sweet. Everything fine. Nothing wrong with that. So just wanted to say with this that if you want to start small or if you want to stay small, it's all fine because it's you. If that is you, it's fine. You know, for me, for a couple of years, that was me. That was all I did, and I never felt it was wrong or anything, and it's not, you know. Just saying, whatever your place is in this and wherever you find yourself, that is what you should do. You should never try to be like that and that person or be like that and that person, you know. You can get inspired, of course, but copying in that sense that you want to, like you have to be there, don't do that. It's gonna be not good for you. Let it grow if you want to. Have a wrapping goal that is without a timeline, you know, and think, you know, maybe one day, but don't force it. It's not going to feel like a natural growth, and it should be a natural growth because this is a place where you're going to be for a long time, you know. If you made the commitment for whatever reason it is, if you're a cancer patient or for whatever, or religious reasons or whatever reason, then you're probably going to be with this for a long time. So you should make sure that you are in a place that you're comfortable with. Okay, so that is that. Then at some point I realized there is shapers. And of course, back then I had no idea that Wrapunzel exists. I only know that for about 2 years. So before that I had other shapers, different sizes, and I personally, I went up to the most volume that I could possibly get from those shapers very quick, because I immediately felt very drawn to this, and that was my comfort zone, and it still is. So today I'm wearing the Wendy shaper, as you know, because I always do. But I also have, for example, I have the signature shaper right here. This is it the smallest or is it the second smallest? I think it's the smallest. So it has a very small poof, which gives more of a natural look, a more believable look, if you want to put it that way, you know, a more natural look, which is really nice. And it all also depends on your face shape and what you want to achieve. So for me personally, I feel I have an oval face, which I guess I'm pretty blessed with, because with oval faces you can wear basically any shape of or any volume of shaper and you can still look good. Now if you have a very round face, I would suggest that you wear, if you can and if you want to, you don't have to, you wear something that is a little bit maybe bigger and a little bit higher up. Not so much towards the back, but a little bit higher up, because let's face it, it's just going to stretch your face a little bit. And if that is your concern, that you want to have this feature also to, you know, make the most out of your face, then that's what you can do. You don't have to, but that's what you can do. So that's why I wear my Wendy shaper pretty much high up, because I like the effect that it has, that it sort of stretches my face. I do have an oval face, but I still feel like if I don't have my shaper up, I feel like a potato. So yeah, anyway. Then of course you have all kinds of shapers in between, and then you have the Oberproof. So that is of course, my kids call it the weird mushroom hat, because probably also because of the color. I love that thing. I love it. You know, I'm not wearing it too much because it's a little bit difficult for me when I'm driving, because I have to put my seat back a lot in order to make room for the Oberproof. But I love this thing. I just love everything that is big. I like big eyeshadow palettes. I like a big range in everything. I like big shapers, you know, I like big pashminas. I like everything that gives me a lot, you know, but not everybody needs to be like this, and you should be totally free to feel whatever you want to feel. So now I was thinking, what would I suggest if I would have to point out one scarf for you? Because obviously with what do you have to start? It's just one scarf. just one scarf you have to start with, right? Just one scarf. So I would point out, it's not a pashmina, it's the Petal Soft. For me, the Petal Soft is the most wrapping friendly, beginner friendly, and also advanced friendly scarf there is. I love this more, about 200% more than the 2-in-1s, even though I like the 2-in-1s a lot because you can play with them. You know, you can just really create a lot of looks with a lot of colors and a lot of texture and a lot of everything without adding a lot of weight. But I would not, if you're just starting out, don't go there yet. Okay, give yourself time. Just play with a scarf like the Petal Soft, because this one, it doesn't slip, it doesn't have super long fringes. That might be a problem for you in the beginning while you're trying to figure out how things go. It doesn't slip, it comes in beautiful colors, and it just wraps like you wouldn't believe. Like, if you don't have a Petal Soft, get yourself one. I wish I had more colors of this, because this is the only color I have of the Petal Soft. It's beautiful. And the thing is with this, that with this one, and that is the difference really to the 2-in-1s, with this one, if you want to, you can build it up and create volume. You cannot do that with the 2-in-1s, to my knowledge, you know, because this one, I guess it's the texture. Let me just hold this a little bit closer to the camera. Maybe you can see the texture of this scarf, that it's a little bit like wavy, you know, and that helps a lot in just creating a little bit more volume. If you want to, you can also lay it down completely flat, but it gives you the option, you know, and that is what I love about this scarf. And it's still super light, and yeah, it's just super beginner friendly. So this, if I would have to just pin it down to one scarf only, it would be this one. Definitely. Now, I do not have all the Wrapunzel scarves that are available. I'm sure there are other ones that are also like awesome to do this, but from what I have in my collection, this is definitely my favorite. That I would say this is the beginner scarf, you know. I really like this. Plus, you can still use it anytime after, even once you get to an advanced stage, you know. So that is really nice. Now, for me, as I told you, the Israeli tichels were my beginning, because I used to wrap differently. I always had this tail hanging down. I was always wearing these square tichels that were not rectangular, but they were like real true squares. That is not my style anymore, so I have put all of my a lot of square tichels away to save them for my daughters when they start to cover their hair, if they want to wear them. I don't know, if not, I'll donate them or something. But anyway, that is not my style anymore. That's why I'm not using that anymore. But when it comes to rectangular scarves, this is definitely what I would recommend, definitely. So when it comes to pashminas or to very patterned scarves, I would even recommend, don't go there yet, you know. Take your time. There's always the next month when you could place another order, you know. It's just give yourself time to play with a little bit like easier wrapping scarves. I would definitely recommend not going to silk and anything that is slippery, because it'll just frustrate you and give you a hard time if you are not already a little bit skilled and you know what you're doing with your hands, and how the scarves will react, and how the shaper sits on your head and things like this, you know. So give yourself time. There is always more time for all of these things. Start easy, start slow, and then build and see where your soul is and where you want to go and where you are feeling comfortable, you know. So that is what I want to recommend. Then of course I want to point out that Wrapunzel has already ready-made beginner kits, sort of. They're not called beginner kits, they're kala kits. Kala is a new bride in Hebrew, so that is of course because the bride will cover their hair after her hair after the wedding. So that's why it's called color kits, and you will find that I think they have like 4 different ones in different color schemes. Really beautiful. If you want to check something like that out, that gives you I think 4 scarves and 1 or 2 accessories or something like that. I will leave them in the link to the color kits also in the description box in case you're interested to check that one out, because that is of course, like for me, that is of course already a step or 2 more than what I'm suggesting. I feel like starting simple, you know, but you don't have to. You can do whatever you want, honestly. So yeah, so that is really what I wanted to point out in this video, and I hope that it helped. You know, take care of your hair, because it does suffer. No matter what you do, it will suffer, especially if you cover your hair all the time like I do. I cover it from the morning till the evening. There are other people, and I used to do it that way too, that I just covered my hair outside of the house, which is what some people do, some people don't, you know, whatever. I felt personally when my kids started to be old enough to ask questions why I'm being different outside of the house than inside of the house, I felt like for me it was time to move on and cover all the time. For me, that was absolutely like the natural thing to follow for me. I'm not saying that everybody has to do that or that that is the better way to do it. That's not, like, I'm not here to judge this. It's just for me, that was what I felt like I wanted to do, and I'm very happy with it. But your hair will suffer. So just, you know, take good care of yourself, of your skin, of your scalp, of your hair, and take supplements, something that is good for your hair, for your nails. You know, it's usually hair and nails that they react to the same kind of supplements. So that I think I would suggest, and then start slow and build up slowly and feel where you are and feel where you want to be and what your goals are, you know. So there are people who just want to be modest and that's all they want. They don't need to necessarily sparkle and shine all the time, you know, which is fine. It depends who you are. For my soul, I just want to sparkle. So, but that doesn't mean that everybody has to. Even though I say all the time, go ahead and sparkle, but you can sparkle in different ways, you know? You don't need to be like that in order to sparkle. You can be very modest and wear very simple scarves, and you can still sparkle because it's in you. And that is really what I mean, you know? I don't mean that everybody needs to be super made up and perfect and anything like stuff like that. I never mean that. I mean finding the sparkles that is in us, because that is really what people will see, you know? That's what I mean. So yeah, so that was a little bit leaning towards lifestyle and leaning towards I don't know what, but I love these kinds of videos. I hope it helped, and if you're new into wrapping and you have questions, then please feel free to contact Wrapunzel or contact me here under my video or through my social media, which you will also find on the slide in the beginning of the video, and also if you're watching this on my channel, then of course also in my description box. So if you want to order something from Wrapunzel, then you can of course use my code that I have with Wrapunzel. It's an affiliate code. It's Queen Leorah in all caps, in one word. You're getting 5% off your order if you want to use that. And besides that, I hope you will enjoy your journey there. And again, don't put pressure on yourself. It's all gonna come. The experience will come. Your hands will grow more experience too. It's not only you yourself, it's also like the way your hands work, your fingers work. You will feel your way through it, you know. And at some point you'll be able to put a wrap on without even looking in the mirror, most probably. So that you know, we are all getting there, and we are all on a journey. And I know for myself that I'm not done either. You know, I'm also still developing my preferences and what I'm liking and different things, even though I've been wrapping for 15 years now. So, you know, we are all on the way, and it's sort of cool to share this together. So anyway, let me know if you like this, if it was helpful, and maybe even some of you who are not new to wrapping, maybe you even enjoyed the video. So let me know what you think. And besides that, of course, subscribe to my channel if you're new here. That would be really lovely. And I'll try to have everything linked in the description box, what I talked about, and also the video about my wrapping journey. I filmed that about a year ago, so you'll see the difference. Anyway, so yeah, so that is that. I hope you liked it, and you'll come back for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses.